Monday Night Raw. Okay, let's do this thing. This show, I will say this. This is one of these shows where it was a little bit better. Let me say one thing before I begin this review. This crowd tonight in Washington, D.C. was way better than whatever was going on in Philly last night because that crowd was dead. Tonight, we got a better crowd. A way better crowd. And a somewhat of, honestly, not that bad of a show because now they have nothing else ahead of them other than WrestleMania at this point. So now they can focus all their time going towards WrestleMania. No other type of side pay-per-views, no Chamber, no Blood Money Saudi Arabia to change things up. Now they have, 4-5 weeks until WrestleMania itself. So in those weeks, I guess now it is time to build whatever you can build now. Okay? But yes. Now, I guess we could all say that we are now finally getting in to WrestleMania mode now. Like I said before, this is now the time to build into everything else into WrestleMania, which we saw matches most likely set up or feuds that continue to put a little bit more steam on, I should say. So we are seeing a little bit more tonight than what we've seen in the past few weeks. So it looks like now they got to go in as hard as they can now to get something before WrestleMania. And a lot of hype was mostly shown on this show tonight. Because the first thing we kick off with is Becky Lynch pretty much coming out in all black, talking about her opponent at WrestleMania, which will be Shayna Baszler, since she pretty much destroyed everyone in that Elimination Chamber match last night. What is Becky going to do now, as she says? What is now the plan out of all of this, huh? Well, we'll see where we're going off with this, huh? Pretty much, she was in the ring, Van Shannon Becky, but, it's no more games and everything. She talked about the cage fighter. The cage fighter was thrown around a lot, I should say, too, for Shayna Baszler. We're just going to go by the cage fighter instead of, the Queen of Spades, which we'll get into that in the ending of this promo, but the word cage fighter was thrown around a lot. And as they play pretty much clips of the Elimination Chamber from last night, they pretty much show Baszler talking about Becky, pretty much saying she wrecked everyone in the Elimination Chamber match last night, and this is a direct message to Becky Lynch. Pretty much looking dead in the camera, making a message to her saying, there's not a damn thing you can do, bitch, because she's going to take the Raw Women's title away from her. Becky pretty much talked about Baszler and everything she's done over the past year, being dominant and what she's done in NXT, but she's also a world-class scumbag. And she says, you know what? She might be a bitch, but she's the bitch that runs this division, as Becky says. Becky pretty much went on to say that Baszler is just a constipated robot from NXT, and that Baszler refused to shake her hand last year when she took the title from her friend Ronda Rousey. So, Rousey name drop right there. Interesting. I'm not saying that's really going to lead anything with Rousey in general, but hey, could happen. But Becky pretty much went on to say that Baszler's been hiding in the shadows, pretty much looking to rewrite history and everything, but, it's going to be heart versus skill, the man versus the Queen of Spades, and that Baszler is just underestimating her, and that she's going to smash her face in for it at WrestleMania before dropping the mic. So we got a more direct, straightforward promo from Becky talking about Baszler and what she's pretty much going to do at WrestleMania and going down point by point. Not over the top, insane, I think I said this last week, dressed as Big Bird Becky Lynch. So at least we got the regular one actually cut a great promo out there. So now it gets you a little bit more, excuse me, stomach hurt, but now I get you a little bit more interested for that match at WrestleMania. I think we all know who's going to win that match at WrestleMania, but now at least this was a better promo from Becky Lynch instead of pretty much coming around yelling, throwing money in the air, and having sunglasses and a hat on than what they did last Monday. This was more serious, Becky. Last week was over the top, dressed as Big Bird Sesame Street, Becky Lynch. Next, we got Rey Mysterio versus Garza. I think God this wasn't Humberto versus Garza again. I'm about to say if I saw one more Humberto Garza and another loss from him, I don't know what to say. But this was actually a good match to open up the show between Garza and Rey Mysterio. Now, I don't know if any of these guys go forward into WrestleMania, but this was really good between both of them. Mysterio ended up pretty much picking up the win. He had dodged Garza from that wing clipper he does. Ray pretty much was going to go for his Canadian Destroyer, but Garza pretty much caught him then. Ray flipped him into a Hurricane Rana, 6-1 nod, pretty much dropped the dime on him, winning the match. So Ray got a win over Garza Jr. there. Good match, though. Good opening, good match. Fans pretty much behind Ray as usual. Now, I've been hearing this idea, and I don't know if this is going to happen since the same four people we see in these kind of matches kind of, intertwine. Could it be a fatal four-way for the United States title between Ray, Almas, Garza, and Humberto? Possibly. Could be a WrestleMania. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess, but we could see what happens from that. Kevin Owens was entering the building with his suitcase until AOP and Murphy were blocking him. Seth Rollins had popcorn since Kevin Owens had popcorn the night before. Walking, Seth Rollins had his own popcorn and left. Kevin Owens took his suitcase and threw it at AOP, trying to attack them, but the numbers game played up, and Seth Rollins and his disciples there ended up jumping. Kevin Owens throwing them all over the place and leaving them in a heap. So Seth Rollins just pretty much stood by and ate his popcorn, saying, "Nothing to worry about here, folks. Nothing to worry about." Next, Charlotte came out after they played Rhea Ripley's, pretty much the same thing they played from NXT last week with the video package for Ripley visiting the, pretty much the arena where WrestleMania is going to be at in Tampa. A lot of XFL logos, though, I will say that. But Charlotte came out. Of course, she's going to get woos and whatnot, and pretty much talked about the video that was just played. And that, that package was inspiring. And, it's even got her fired up and everything. But that Ripley was never going to be her. And this whole next big thing with Ripley, enjoy it because it's not going to last, okay? She's going to teach Ripley a lesson. She's going to humble her. And pretty much says, listen, you stood and talked in front of an empty stadium. But now you're going to be in a stadium with over 90,000 people. And you're going to be humbled by the Queen. Woo! Of course, Ripley ended up coming out. She was about to say something. But Flair says, no. You already got your 2 minutes in the video package. You got to talk, okay? This is not NXT. This is Monday Night Raw. This is my kingdom. So you were excused. You can go. But Ripley ended up knocking Charlotte down with a punch in right after. Charlotte pretty much looked at Ripley as Ripley smiled and left from pretty much right after that. Because we see Charlotte back on NXT this week. I don't know. Now, this match itself for WrestleMania, I'm hearing a lot of people keep saying Charlotte's going to go over. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised at the same time if something like that did happen, kind of looking at how this feud is going right now. But I highly doubt that, though. Besides, is Charlotte going to be showing up on NXT with the title every week? And I've already said my thoughts on this whole thing before, that at the end of the day, Charlotte is technically going for the, I don't want to say the NXT is the lower title, or some say the D-League, but since this woman has already had both, already been 10-time champion with the other titles, go back for another belt, I guess. So let's just go back to the, some say the lower tier, if you want to look at it, but we're trying to look at NXT as equal nowadays, so I'm trying not to say D-League or whatnot, or developmental, but you gotta treat this like a main title here, so I'm sure that match is going to be great and all. But, yeah, Ripley knocks down Charlotte. Charlotte continues to cut her whatever robot promos or whatever, whatnot. But that's what we got here tonight on Raw. We pretty much got Randy Orton waiting in the back all night as they kept showing cameras at the parking lot, waiting for Edge to show up. Bobby Lashley, for some odd reason, killed Zack Ryder, and fans chanted, "We want Lana." There was no Lana with him. Now, to what I've been hearing, that I hope this is true. Thank God this storyline is over, because it was very one-sided anyways, and Rusev lost most of all the time. And when you think about it, Lashley and Lana won. But I believe they said Lana is doing a movie right now. To what I've heard, something with Bruce Willis. I don't know if this is going to be a way to rebuild Bobby Lashley. especially if he's just killing guys like Zack Ryder. Like, thank God we didn't see Lana, but to what I hear, this whole storyline is over with this Lana Lashley Rusev thing, even though, like I said, it was already a one-sided feud as it was anyway, but maybe we're going to be seeing something different now. If they could rebuild Bobby Lashley and make him a dominant force, I would like that. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said before, they dropped the ball with Bobby Lashley as soon as they brought him back, okay? They had a chance. The money match was with Brock, but obviously it's just not happening. They've given him too much dumb stuff. Okay, I like Lashley, but come on, let's be honest here. They ruined this a long time ago. But at least there was no Lana. Could it be a rebuild process? Maybe. Because honestly, I don't think Bobby Lashley's got anything going on. Especially going into WrestleMania. Okay? Aleister Black was sitting in his room or dark boiler room somewhere until someone finally knocked on his door to pick a fight with him, it looked like. Seth Rollins and Murphy came into the room then. Rollins wanted to meet with Black, asking him if he wanted to join and everything. I want you on my side. Pretty much offering him a shirt, the Monday Night Messiah. But Aleister Black said no, basically. Rollins pretty much says, you might have not been clear, but you're either with me or you're against me. And Black said, those sound like fighting words. And since you knocked on my door, I guess you're looking to pick a fight with me. At least it wasn't Murphy. I think Murphy would know better after losing to Black 3 times. But, excuse me. Seth Rollins versus Aleister Black later tonight. Next thing we got, for some reason, Drew McIntyre versus Eric Rowan. This is just mostly a showcase match for Drew McIntyre, especially going into WrestleMania. It's Eric Rowan of all things. And the thing to take away from this match is Eric Rowan's cage getting squished, okay? So basically, McIntyre took some steel steps and killed Eric Rowan's mechanical spider. Listen, this whole spider thing was dumb anyways. Obviously, they have nothing for Rowan at this point. They played along with the cage for weeks. I think they didn't have any ideas. We had a spider or a mechanical spider. So the only other way to stop this, and I see people tonight saying, well, why did they kill the spider for? Even though people said, why was it even a spider to begin with? This is dumb. So now the spider is dead, or if there was even anything in the cage to begin with, it's dead. We can move on. It's over, okay? It was dumb. They didn't have any other ideas, so the tarantula's gone. It's not like he was going to be a thing every week with Rowan. Where does Rowan go on from this? I don't know. Unless they have another idea for him, I have literally no clue. That whole cage thing was the only thing that was kind of going for him at the time. But now the spider is dead. Okay? It's dead. It's gone. McIntyre wins. Everyone at least goes with the 3-2-1 Claymore kick thing. So at least that's getting more over as usual. So yeah, McIntyre wins. Asuka and Kairi Sane came out. Getting ready to do a promo. It's one thing if I say something about their promo. It's funny. I see a SmackDown commercial, right? I know they said Paige is going to be on there, but I still think it's funny that Jeff Hardy, well, I guess Jeff Hardy will be returning this Friday on SmackDown, but it's funny because, with Jeff, we all know his brother is gone from the company. I still think it was funny that his brother leaves the company, and then the next day, they announced that, or that following day or the next day, he's on the backstage show. Now he's returning this week. So, I don't know. That's just kind of funny to me. Jeff comes back when Matt leaves the company, and most likely 9 times out of 10 is in AEW right now. So, I think that's kind of funny. But Asuka and Kairi Sane pretty much came out to cut a promo, mostly speaking in Japanese. Kairi asked if Asuka's hand, I guess, was alright, or her wrist and everything. Asuka pretty much says, okay, we continue to see more and more of their promo. They said something. They said Mean Girl several times. I know that. Listen, I've said this before about Asuka and Kairi. I know they got the what treatment out there, but I've said this about Asuka before. Asuka doing a promo in Japanese is probably more entertaining than half of the show, okay? Like I said before, I don't even know what they're even saying. But it sounds cool, and it sounds like it's going somewhere half the time. So, Yeah, that's more entertaining than half the show. I don't know what she's saying, but it sounds cool to me. So yeah, Asuka and Kyrie cut their promo. Next thing you know, Natalya comes out. No one cares. This is probably the part where people get up to go to the bathroom or go get something to eat. I guess she's tagging with Liv Morgan, and then for some reason, both Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan pretty much walk out, standing right next to each other. They randomly attacked each other for some reason. Liv Morgan went to the top rope, pretty much dove on both of the Riot Squad. I guess some Riot Squad thing going on right now. Natalya goes for the sharpshooter on Kairi Sane, but I guess she missed the tag from the ref. Asuka comes in, kicks Natalya in the head, and it's over. Okay, so Natalya loses again, nearly gets killed in the Elimination Chamber last night, gets killed again. Okay, so there you go. What do I have to say from this? Where the Riot Squad is going, I have no idea. Okay, maybe they're bringing it back together since they ended at the beginning with nothing. Honestly, it ended, I don't even know why the Riot Squad ended. Maybe because Ruby Riott got hurt and they just kind of disbanded it. Now it looks like they got some either war or they reformed with each other. Asuka and Kyrie, I have no idea where they go from right here. Unless it has to do with whatever the crap Alexa Bliss said the other night about those tag belts, then 9 times out of 10, yes. Natalya, no one cares. No one just doesn't care. They don't. They just, man, it's good. Hey, it's funny, too, throughout this match. I shouldn't even say they shouldn't care all the way, because it was actually a small natty chant in the crowd. But most of the time, when you see Natalya on your TV, you really don't care, okay? But somehow, she actually got a bit of a chant out there. Next, some say will be arguably the best promo of the night, or the True Shoot promo here from AJ Styles, as he came out with the OC. Pretty much talked about not once but twice the Undertaker has gotten his nose in his business, and the Undertaker has taken moments from me. He took that trophy from the Saudi Arabia. I don't know why he cares about it that much. Talks about how the whole match of him and Aleister Black, and that the Undertaker keeps showing up in my business, and talked about Undertaker then, as fans chanted Undertaker. Talked about how Roman nearly pretty much beat him 3 years ago at WrestleMania. And, he left his coat and his hat and his gloves in the ring and was going to ride off into the sunset. And he thinks Taker should have been done after Brock ended the streak. Pretty much calling him an old man, basically. An old, broken down man. And that Taker pretty much ruined Roman's moment. And Styles says he wants Taker at WrestleMania. Okay, and I would have been scared of The Undertaker maybe 10, 15 years ago. He was once a mythical monster, a phenom, but his mystique is gone. All that's gone. What he sees now is just a broken old down man named Mark Calloway. So now to shoot, folks. We're now using The Undertaker's real name, even though AJ said Mark Galloway, but you all know what he's trying to say, Mark Calloway. And that Taker should have retired 10 years ago. Where have I heard that before? When he was in his prime, and he doesn't know why Taker keeps coming back. And he knows why. It's because of his wife, Michelle McCool. Because he wants to inform the crowd that they are married, So, we're just killing kayfabe, folks. We are killing kayfabe. It's already dead anyway. So let's kill kayfabe a little bit more. And AJ pretty much says that McCool pretty much plays Taker like a fiddle, that he gives her whatever she wants, and that her husband is always getting hurt every time he steps in the ring, and he's got a family and everything, but she's a conniving person. Pretty much she's like an enabler in making Taker wrestle so she can get money out of him all the time, basically. And he has some advice on The Undertaker. Your wife's going to run you into the ground, and I'm going to help her, and I'm going to make sure you die at WrestleMania. Well, it's funny, he's technically already a dead man, so you can't really kill what's already dead. So he's already dead. You know where I'm going with this. But, he says, let me rephrase this. I'm going to take the Undertaker's soul at WrestleMania. I'm going to do what your wife wants me to do. Because that one-on-one match is going to happen. And I'm challenging you. You don't have any dignity, pride, or mystique left. You're just a broken down old man. And no one gives a damn about Undertaker, and he's going to accept and challenge, and he's going to put the nail in Undertaker's coffin. Number one, Great promo by AJ. Number 2, I see we must go into shoot mode right now, okay? Since we're mentioning Michelle McCool several times, pretty much she's the blame to why Undertaker keeps coming back. Listen, there are people I know that say this all the time. I'm sick of the Undertaker, retired 10 years ago. I swear Undertaker said that in a shoot interview one time. Say, the people on the internet say Undertaker should have retired 10 years ago or whatever or whatnot. This is mostly all to shoot. We're using the Undertaker's real name. So, and I'm sitting here like a lot of other people. I know it's a contract signing next week now between Undertaker and AJ Styles. So, if AJ's not afraid of the dead man anymore, some people say, why don't we just bring old Mark Calloway out there? Why don't we just bring American Badass Taker? Why don't we bring Big Evil Taker? Why don't we just have him come out on his motorcycle, play Big Evil again? Because I did like that song instead of Rollin', even though Rollin' was good too. But I'd rather hear that Big Evil one again. Why don't we just get, Biker Taker to face, AJ at WrestleMania? Because obviously, he's basically exposed the dead man because, hey, kill kayfabe. Undertaker's not a zombie, which, I guess they needed something. So we're now doing shoot truth promos. One thing I did not like was that I'm surprised the crowd didn't react more about this, but in a way, this is almost similar to what John Cena did a couple years ago on The Undertaker, pretty much talking about his wife, pretty much saying you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram. I think he's on Instagram now, but I think he does. Yeah, he's got Twitter, I know that. Saying, like, you're not the Undertaker, you're working out with your wife. The same thing Cena said, and some people bring it up tonight that Ken Shamrock called him Mark many years ago, too, but very similar to what Cena did a couple years ago to what AJ is doing. I even somebody brought up tonight that saying this is almost the same promo AJ did many years ago against Sting in TNA. Don't believe me? Look it up. But this was, like I said, a very, very good promo from AJ Styles. More serious, not, pretty much talking about the OC or the whatever, greatest group and everything. Pretty much coming at the Undertaker's head, throwing promo bullets at him and whatnot. What does the Undertaker come back with next week? I don't know. But now we gotta, like I said, we gotta turn everything to level 10 now, especially going into WrestleMania with only 4 weeks away. So we gotta get something to make people care about this match, okay? Now, do I really see the dead man losing? Not really. Like I said, people think Taker's going to retire almost every year. Doesn't happen. No. At this point in the game, it's whatever to me. Okay? Listen, I thought he retired. I thought he would have retired after the streak. Or maybe the whole thing with, I never really thought he was going to retire after the whole thing with Roman, okay? They had me going for a second, but they never say he retired after the next night on Raw. So, you could tell that was never going to happen. He was going to show up sooner or later. Like, it's Undertaker. He's going to keep coming back all the time because it's the dead man. So I wouldn't be surprised if he even came back again after WrestleMania in general. But, just getting back in the point of this promo, though. Like I said, great promo from AJ. We're now going shoot style, and we are now blaming Michelle McCool. Now people saying that Michelle McCool will probably be showing up on TV next week. I don't know. I would like to see American Badass Taker. I really would. Instead of the dead man, because AJ pretty much says, I don't fear dead man Undertaker. You're just a regular man now. You're just a guy. And trust me, the same stuff AJ has mostly said is probably people I know, or mostly a lot of people on the internet have said about Undertaker. Because trust me, I know people that pretty much said the same thing as AJ and will bitch and moan about it. I'm not going to throw out any names here, but hey, those people know who they are that I know, okay? But like I said before, great promo from AJ. At least this gets you a little bit more interested in their match for WrestleMania. But obviously we don't have no Aleister Black involved. It's going to be some tag team. We're just getting straight up Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Honestly, I think that may be a good match. You may call me crazy, but it's AJ. AJ can work with anybody and Undertaker. So in a way, I have somewhat of a high hope for this match. If not, then it will suck. But right now, I do have a little bit of a high hope for this. Please, you want to get mad and say I'm wrong? Come at me, okay? But all I can say is it did get me a little bit more interested. So we'll find out and see. Riddick Moss, oh God, he's got his own intro now. Versus Cedric Alexander, that poor bastard, for the 24/7 title. Yeah, 24/7 title. Riddick Moss wins. Cedric Alexander, I swear to God, I forget he's... Well, it could be worse for Cedric Alexander. He could go lower like Ricochet right now and be wrestling on main event tonight, to what I heard, against Eric Rowan. But, yeah, Rick Moss, he doesn't really talk, but he's beating all these guys and trying to make this 24/7 title look important. Okay? So, there you go. MVP was in the ring as they came back from commercial. I'm actually surprised he's still here. Pretty much says he's been in better cities than DC. It's not even a state. And, talked about, pretty much say, I'm done with my in-ring career. Motherfucker, you just wrestled like 2-3 weeks ago. You said that the first time you were done with your in-ring career when you wrestled Ray. Then you end up going against McIntyre for a second. But now he wants to be a brainiac. Pretty much says he wants to build a stable. A foundation, he says. And no... He needs guys. He can bring them gold and whatnot. Like, he has tasted gold. He wants to bring some of his knowledge to them, which he talks about Edge. And him and Edge go way back. And Edge has a problem to focus on, and it could lead, prominence back to him if he just listens to him. And he said that, Edge was not here until Edge arrived in his truck or an SUV, pretty much charging towards the stage. Edge's music hit. He took the mic from MVP. Like I said, the biggest thing tonight was Edge returning. He took the mic from MVP, though. He told Orton, where is he? I want Orton out here right now, especially after the whole RKO on his wife thing and whatnot, which I still think that was great. I see people complaining about that. I still like the promo, the video back they played for Orton and Edge, though. Somebody brought this up. Especially when Orton says, I want my daughters to show a man how... I don't know, he treats women or something, which is funny, because then they show random clips of, somebody put this online, but they show random clips of Randy Orton RKO on women throughout the years, which is actually funny, which is ironic, but it's funny at the same time, though. But Edge pretty much started looking for Orton then, and gave the mic back to MVP, and MVP said, what's wrong with you? And he said, speaking wrong, you focus on the wrong thing. How about your wife right now? Edge ended up spearing MVP. Randy Orton came from out of nowhere and attacked him. Edge ended up pretty much giving him an RKO then after that. He got a chair, was about to come in after Orton, but Orton got out of there after Edge got a second chair. MVP tried to attack Edge. For some reason, Edge did, like that triangle hold. Interesting, he does that triangle hold when Jake Hager's doing that triangle hold on AEW. Very interesting right there. I kind of caught that. Edge pretty much looked at Orton in as he held MVP. Pretty much giving him some sort of whatever that was, an RKO onto the chairs. Pretty much says, this is you, Randy. He hit him with a concerto, and then he hit him with a second concerto as Randy Orton looked on. He ended up chasing after him then, which Caruso ended up telling him then that Randy Orton had already left the building. So right now, Edge is trying to do his best to get his hands on Randy Orton. I'm sure we will see Edge more on TV, especially in the next 4 weeks when WrestleMania is only like 4 weeks away from now. So we do need him on TV at this point in time. But yeah, MVP, he gets beat up by Edge. So we needed someone to take the beating, I guess, because obviously Edge is not going to get his hands on Randy Orton until WrestleMania. So... yeah, until WrestleMania. So yeah, Edge is back, and the chase now begins on Orton. I guess they had the Arnold Classic Lifetime Achievement Award for Triple H. They showed a video promo from Paul Heyman, pretty much talking about Brock Lesnar, how he's beaten several guys throughout the years, from Roman to Seth, Orton, Hogan, Rock, Austin, Cena, Taker, Flair, WrestleMania, and how Brock has killed everybody for all these years. Drew McIntyre then pretty much had a video promo of his own. Pretty much said everything Heyman said was true. But he did eliminate Brock Lesnar this year in the Royal Rumble, and that's not a fluke. He gave him 3 Claymore kicks out there from last week on Monday, and now he's going to take the title from him at WrestleMania. But then a match that we expected to get was Aleister Black and Seth Rollins, which really didn't go that long, which actually starting to turn good. But Buddy Murphy got involved. AOP ended up coming up and attacking Black then. Next thing you know, the Viking Raiders come out and make the save. But then the Street Profits came out and make the save. Well, I will say the Street Profits are over here. Let me say that too. Street Profits are over, pretty much saying right now, 8-man tag, let's do this, which this pretty much ate up the rest of the show for almost 20-something minutes, I will say that, which I feel like I've seen this main event many times in the past in some variation between Seth and crew versus, except the only difference this time, there was no Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, so the Street Profits were in replacement. I will say the Street Profits are over, and we want the smoke things getting over, especially Montez Ford. Like I said, Montez Ford, the guy's got charisma and really good in the ring. That's one person to be looking out for, okay? But I think Street Profits have gotten more over in the past couple weeks now, and they were over again tonight. But this wasn't bad or anything. It did, like I said, it ate up 20-something minutes of the time, which ate up the rest of the show. Pretty much ended up with Montez doing a dive on everybody outside. He gets back in the ring. Seth hits the curb stomp on him. Seth gets the win. Kevin Owens ends up attacking him then right after. Seth's crew tried to get in there and help him. They got stunned all over the place, AOP and Murphy. But Seth ended up hitting him with a curb stomp. Then he hit him with a second curb stomp again. Pretty much telling Murphy, this is my moment. Pretty much ask him to get out of the ring and stuff. And pretty much leaving him on the ground. And before the graphic even came up to end the show, Seth did one more curb stomp to end the pretty much end the show off from there, beating up Kevin Owens. So obviously we will get Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins 9 times out of 10 at WrestleMania, most likely. What happened to Aleister Black after this? I have no idea what happened to him, because we got an 8-man tag with, Street Profits and the Viking or War Machine and, Jesus there and his crew and whatnot. But I actually thought this was an interesting episode of Raw. Obviously, this was now the way to hype matches for WrestleMania, so now we are in the WrestleMania mode. From Edge coming back and hitting concertos, coming after Orton. From AJ Styles shoot promo on The Undertaker. Well, what else did we get tonight? Ripley and Charlotte, of course, they gotta hype their thing up for WrestleMania. 24/7, that was bad. What else did we get on this show now that I think about it? Becky's promo was pretty good too on Baszler. The women tag team is, I don't know. I don't even know, okay? Riot Squad's doing something, I guess, so I got no idea where they're going with that. I think that's all I can really say. Oh, Drew killing Eric Rowan's Spider. I don't even know where Rowan goes on from there. Like I said, a lot of matches was just random squash matches. Drew is just getting him hyped up for Mania. Bobby Lashley, I have no idea what they're doing with him right now. He just beat up Zack Ryder like that's really much anyways. It's Zack Ryder. And Garza and Ray was actually a good match too. That was a good match to begin. But, other than that, that's all I can say for Monday Night Raw. I will say this was a better episode. Like I said, they better start getting better stuff. You gotta hype up WrestleMania in the next few weeks. So you better start putting out some good stuff. Now, as for SmackDown, I don't know. I can say one thing and it may not be saying much, but Raw has been better than SmackDown a lot of times. I don't know about last week's Raw, but at least this Raw, I can even say right now is better than whatever SmackDown they had on Friday. It could be more better than SmackDown this Friday, but hey, they got Paige. I'm not going to say she's coming out of retirement or nothing, but hey, anyone could know, but I don't think it's happening. Could be. And Jeff Hardy is coming back on TV. But other than that, though, I'm sure they may draw a big rating next week for Monday Night Raw, because next week it's going to be Happy 316 Day. Stone Cold Steve Austin will be on the show, and Undertaker for The Undertaker, and AJ Styles contract signing. So, 316 Day falls on a day where it's actually Monday for 316. It's usually an unofficial holiday on the internet, which I always see, but now we're trying to make this official on TV now. So, other than that, this is my Monday Night Raw review. I am done with this show. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show. Check out any other video that is online. Right now, my Elimination Chamber review from last night. Check that out, or any other review that has been played throughout of the week, okay? Only thing I will say right now, I don't know what's going to happen with the WrestleMania review, but I'm coming up with a plan right now. Like I said last night, I don't know what that plan is exactly all the way yet, but I am coming up with something of a plan, because I can say right now, WrestleMania is going to be a very long maybe a long review depending on how many matches we got for this show. Because come on, WrestleMania is a marathon anyways, okay? You need like 3 cups of coffee to get through that show. But we'll save that for another date when we get closer to that date, okay? Other than that, though, I am done with this review. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this show. I think I'm repeating myself again after I just said the same things a minute ago about commenting and subscribing. But follow me on Twitter at HoodieKnight890. I'm out of here. You know what I just said literally a few seconds ago about checking other stuff out. So I will see you guys later. Peace out. We will see you tomorrow night with an Impact review. Peace.